AKA Padders. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to episode 295 of my podcast. Let me brag about myself. AKA Pad's Audio Audacity. We're on every network, and right here, right now, we're on the road to 300. We're doing car movies, in particular, car racing movies. That's right, a competition to go around the track a lot of times and cross that finish line. Right here, right now, though, we have Stoker Ace. If you like Talladega Nights, if Talladega Nights is on your radar, period, about being a great comedy movie, fun, accurate, embedded into the sport, which makes it a little bit funnier, Stoker Ace is the genesis of that. I went to the source because I have to know what inspires the people that inspire me. Will Ferrell definitely inspires me. So does Burt Reynolds. So does nearly everyone involved with this movie. Let's talk about it. Oh my God, your boy over here, had a rough day a couple days ago. I've been redoing. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll kind of see I moved, which I've been talking about here a lot. But I post from my outdoor gym and from my outside patio that I built. Both of those areas were a big decision, a gut decision on moving really quick, just getting things in order and doing like a run of yard and housework that pretty much escaped me because I spent 9 years living in a, well-furnished studio loft. And it kind of made me a little bit soft. Getting back into the nitty gritty, digging in dirt, removing concrete, breaking things, running wires, learning everything I can about electrical boxes. It goes on and on. So, I'm at the end of that. And one of these last things I really wanted to do was to do your like beer garden string lights, your bulby string lights. And I did it there. Like I was like, let me just do one run so I deal with one plug. So I got like 100-foot LED string bulb run, and pretty much zigzagged it between a couple trees. I was used some of my ingenuity to anchor it to the house because you kind of need it's a little bit of a TP effect, but you need that central anchor. So boom, 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 boom. Had it running for about 3 to 4 days, and I was in the pattern of doing morning workouts and late afternoon workouts because here in Philly, we have sunlight up until 8 o'clock at night, which is amazing. So it was in the morning, and I was like, let me do 100 dB snatches. Buddy it with this, buddy it with that, and let's just end it with some sledgehammer swings. And I created an area with the bigger chunks. It's a completely sealed off area, but it's my bigger chunks of concrete that I'm smashing and pulverizing down. And I've had success with this. Well, swinging that sledgehammer, I tore down my lights, and at that morning, also displaced my hip. Pretty much at the pre-origin of the podcast, I was doing one called Parts Unknown with my buddy Mark. He's been on here, and then this was around the time when the Pope came to Philly. I displaced my hip the same exact way, and it took me months of rehab. Luckily, this time, since I know what to do and my body is so much stronger, it was really like 2 days. 1 day of discomfort, second day, dynamic stretching, being very vigorous and on top of all that definitely helped. But that was a bad day. And this is all during the business day too. I tried everything I could to repair that line. I just said, I bit the bullet, ordered another string from Amazon, and just said, move on, which is what I did. I'll be happy to announce that this past weekend, Friday and Saturday. Had some great times on the outdoor patio in the Philly heat with those string lights, rocking and rolling all night, drinking everything we can. And I guess my final phase, my final stage is to get a rotocast cooler so we can just fill it up with ice, fill it up with, add whatever alcohol we want and not go inside so much. And then boom, that's it. I mean, you got no reason to move. Everything is at your fingertips. And that's how I like to live. And that's also how I like to work. Because in the new AKAPAD studio, which you can see on YouTube, if you go and find AKAPAD, yeah, I mean, everything I need is in this one room. I can do all my recording, my videos, my drawing, my live streaming, my comic book production. It's all here, all by design. And again, to this room, this very room, this studio that I'm talking to you from, was another big decision, and why I wanted to make the move. Why I felt like I had to make the move at that point. But look, everyone, we're talking Stoker Ace. Now, in the intro, I referenced Talladega Nights. When it comes to car racing, NASCAR comedies, this movie is it. Everything goes to Talladega Nights just because. Look, it's a stacked movie. It's well made. It looks like a real movie. Doesn't look like a comedy. Great moments, great punchlines, great setups, great deliveries. Talladega drifts a little bit away, suffers a little bit from our next movie syndrome, the Days of Thunder syndrome, where the middle of the movie drifts off. And I guess pun intended there. And by that, I mean it removes itself from its own theme. It doesn't go all in. We see this a lot in comedies, and we see it a lot in horror movies. Because in horror movies and comedies, we're a lot of the times we're brought to the table by the concept. And when the concept betrays itself, we feel disappointed. And this is like mostly a subconscious action. We may not be able to isolate it and to hone in on exactly what's happening, but we know it's happening and we know it's there. But look, Stoker Ace, Hal Needham. I say Hal Needham. This is our director. Okay, need I to say that Stoker Ace is a Burt Reynolds movie? And that's one of the reasons I was looking so forward to this flick, because I've been on the run of just watching Boogie Nights, and the more I watch Boogie Nights, the more I like Burt Reynolds. I always heard Burt Reynolds had like the beats. He had the beats of comedy, and at the time, like you would kind of this is a little bit of the template that Schwarzenegger and Stallone betrayed themselves on, because they went comedy. Burt Reynolds went comedy and action. Okay, he was pretty much both. Now, he's of everyone I just named, Reynolds is the best comedian of Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Bruce Willis tried this also. Bruce Willis, I would say, is pretty good. So we have a template, and it brings Stallone and Schwarzenegger away from type. The type of type, or the type of drifting away from type, that it basically brought the audience out of like who they were. I don't think the audience wanted many comedies, even from Schwarzenegger, outside of Twins and Kindergarten Cop. People always wanted more Twins. They didn't want Junior. They didn't want Jingle All the Way. So we go to Burt Reynolds and we watch this movie. And we have Hal Needham. Hal Needham is a force to be reckoned with, because if you're into movies, you know this guy, you know his name. Actor, director, he's the one that brought us Cannonball Run, 1981. 1982, he brings us Mega Force. If you do not know Mega Force, this is a movie you have to know about. Stoker Ace, Cannonball Run 2. We're already up to 1984. 1986. You ready for this? Rad, the BMX movie. The movie is beyond legendary at this point, mostly because it's unavailable. It's constantly out of print. Smokey and the Bandit 2, 1980. And then in the 90s, the mid 90s, he had a Smokey and the Bandit made for TV run. Okay, so he pretty much pushed a franchise right into the culture. Like, so it was always, for Burt Reynolds car comedies, it was always Cannonball Run, Smokey and the Bandit. But when we have like failed attempts at franchises, that's really what solidifies it. Look, RoboCop was RoboCop, but really, what if it wasn't for those really weird sci-fi RoboCop made for TV movies? I think they were from Canada. I tried watching those so many times. It's so hard to get through them. And the RoboCop cartoon series. RoboCop may have just drifted off. It may have just been this 3-movie mega popular block, but then it failed. Like failing with that third one. So we forget the first 2. So this dude's a veteran. Okay, he knows comedy. He knows beats. We have Burt Reynolds, who knows the beats. We have Lonnie Anderson, one of the great, beautiful. She's as great with comedy as she is with beauty. Okay, we have Jim Napers from the Andy Griffith Show, and then we have another movie with Ned Beatty, Deliverance, again with Burt Reynolds. With Superman, he was in our Lace movie, The Lace American Hero. Ned Beatty is our boy. So this movie begins. The opening of this movie reminded me so much of Talladega Nights. Take a shot every time I say Talladega Nights in this review. But no, it's a flashback. It's the origin of thought, the origin of a passion. He's a kid trying to race cars, just getting into trouble. Nice, not black and white, but it's like like an old camera, an old photograph. It's just brown tone flashback. And then we jump into this conflict. The conflict is Burt Reynolds is a car racer that isn't losing in this movie. The guy's at the height. He just signs a bad contract with Ned Beatty, who owns the chicken pit. And, basically Burt Reynolds is in servitude to promote the chicken pit, and it's whatever Ned Beatty wants. So the plot for this whole movie is just Burt Reynolds trying desperately to get out of a contract. That's something we all can relate to. We've all been there. So, we get shots that were seen in the trailer, a lot of the publicity photos for this, which is Burt Reynolds in like a chicken suit. And then along the way, we have this like upstart. We have this upstart fishing, hunting Burt Reynolds. He wants the top spot. Burt Reynolds wins throughout this movie, which I loved. I love that they don't make him into this like loser for the middle of the movie. Talladega Nights, take a shot. So at the end, when Burt Reynolds wins, we have the same moment that that Steve McQueen had with his counterpart in Le Mans, which is the acknowledgement of the future and the past and the competition, like a nod. So freaking cool. Like, car racing movies only do this scene. It's one of my favorite scenes, one of my favorite tropes in car racing movies. I can't get enough of it. I wish every car movie would have it. But yeah, so this movie really blew me away just because there's a levity, there's a fun, there's a excitement to this style of comedy. This is also a style of comedy that's done, that's antiquated, that doesn't connect, that just seems childish. If you watch this movie and you put yourself in its place and just do a brain dump, a real one, a good one, this movie's so easy to enjoy because just seeing the scene, it's just ridiculousness. It's Burt Reynolds trying to get Lonnie Anderson. She's she's married. No, she's like a devout Christian. Only is going to have sex with the guy that she's in love with, that she's going to marry. So she's basically a virgin in this movie, and it's just this like world that's clashing with Burt Reynolds. Burt's number 2, Jim Nabors from the Andy Griffith Show, is spot on. Perfect sidekick. Ned Beatty, perfect foil. It goes on and on. this movie is stacked. This movie is well made. The So when it comes to the car part, is yeah, I mean it's pretty much, it's not as embedded as Talladega Nights into the car culture and business. Okay, we take a lot of leaps, and we have to kind of excuse a lot, but it's there, and we do get plenty of pit crew or the pit row action. Plenty of stuff with the mechanics, plenty of stuff with the cars. The photography and the way how this is shot it's pretty well there. Like the action of the car racing is there. So, but it's not quite into the industry. So in a way, like I would put Talladega over this just as a car racing movie, but maybe not as a movie, because I feel like this movie is extremely important. And Talladega is just low hanging fruit. It's easy to go there. I needed to supplement Talladega with something else, and I swear when I talk about finding the source, I'm convinced that Will Ferrell and crew and friends saw this movie and said, we can update this and we can make it that, this is the vision for an updated Stoker Ace, 100%. But yeah, everyone, thank you for joining me. Peter A. DeLuca. I'm on Indiegogo. Let me sell you something real quick. If you want to support me, I have a comic book on Indiegogo. It's called Trial by Fire. It's available now. You can sign up, and I'll sell it to you when I take pre-orders. But you get a lot of free merch when you sign up early, and that would, I'll be very appreciative of that. But until next time, episode 296. It's the one movie we've all been waiting for. Tom Cruise, Tony Scott. Are you ready? Days of Thunder 296. Let's get to it. I love you, everyone. Thank you. Be creative and rock and roll. Until next time.